Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, and we've got Vanderpump content to cover today. That's right, more Vanderpump news. It's been a while since we've covered Vanderpump. Raquel speaking out for the first time. Raquel, a.k.a. Rachel Leviss, talks to Bethenny Frankel. She, of course, is the biggest villain, or at least with Tom Sandoval, the biggest villain we've seen in a long time in reality TV. She broke up the long-term relationship between Tom Sandoval and Ariana. Not to say Tom Sandoval isn't guilty for ruining his long-term relationship as well. Weird week for me. I ran into Tom Sandoval on Friday night and asked him how far he got on Special Forces, and I will tell you that answer on patreon.com/Dave Neal. I didn't want to ask him anything about Vanderpump because obviously he wasn't going to answer that, but I was like, hey, how'd you do on the show? He told me, so going to be very excited to see how that all plays out. All right, well, most of the fans out there are very upset that Bethenny Frankel would entertain Raquel Leviss. Old nuanced Dave here, I'm going to give my opinion, which hasn't really changed. In my opinion is that what Rachel did was wrong. And also, I think the reunion went way too far in the way they, condemned her for that. And I blame Bravo, Andy Cohen, and pretty much everyone who's profited off of that storyline. It's not exactly that the cast profited off of it. I'm sure their day rate didn't go up based on what Raquel did, but Andy Cohen, the producers, and Bravo for sure monetized the hell out of the pain that was caused by Tom and Raquel. So now we've got, and I don't know, can you argue with that, folks? So now we've got Bethenny here, and we already have other people responding to it. So she posted this 5 hours ago. A woman's voice is very powerful. Now Rachel is using hers to tell her own story for the first time. Rachel has a right to tell her story, and people can be upset about it. Both can be true here. And then we've got a couple clips to share. Have a listen.
You were born Rachel, and then at some point you didn't legally, but you just wanted to be called Raquel. Mm-hmm. Diabolical, demented, subhuman, shut the f*** up. You are nothing, you are nothing, you are nothing. I would have killed someone. Has anyone said that you're a human being? How did you feel knowing someone that you thought you were in love with recorded you? I wanted to know if you think that they feel that they went too far, the cast, and if they are sorry.
So,
And by the way, it's not, and again, they cut off there. It's not necessarily whether or not the cast went too far. It's whether or not the edited version of the show, including all of that. I mean, look, if you want to sit down and take your licks from a bunch of people that are angry, go ahead and do it. But in sharing that and stewing up the vitriol, it existed regardless of whether or not she went on the show. Katie Maloney, do I have her name right? I try to get all these names. Yeah, Katie Maloney here said, what in the hot garbage is this? Of course, she's right in the thick of things. And then someone responded, don't watch then. Yeah, look, hey, it's not like Raquel's making t-shirts, and trying to profit off of her story. She's just telling her story. But again, Kate can be upset. People can be mad at Bethenny. You can unfollow both. You could unfollow me for even cover it for all I care. Here's another clip from Raquel in her interview with Bethenny Frankel.
So you're FaceTiming Tom. You're in New York and Tom is in LA, and you're masturbating and he's recording you and you don't know that you're being recorded.
Correct.
All right, so multiple things can be wrong there. In the moment, she is definitely cheating, maybe not physically in that moment, but they're obviously having an affair. And also it is wrong, if not illegal, I don't know the laws, but for sure morally wrong that Tom is recording that without her consent. Kind of slime ball thing to do. All right, couple more clips for you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Should Raquel have kept her mouth silent? I exist on the planet where I enjoy hearing what people think about things, whether they're a political candidate. I want everyone to debate, whether they are reality stars. I want everyone to share their thoughts. I'm not for deplatforming people unless they're, spewing violent rhetoric. You know what I mean? With this case, her telling her story, I'm all about it. People can decide to like it or not like it. It seems like in some ways people are thinking she's coming off unapologetic and whatever. Is there more to the story that we don't know? Is there more that Bravo decided to leave on the editing room floor? I'm not sure. We'll find out.
To have you validate that experience, because for a moment I thought I was going crazy. And it's true. Reality TV it's edited. It is contrived to create a certain storyline. And so it's not all factual. So as a viewer tuning in, it's easy to get wrapped up in that. And then the concept of an affair hits really hard to a lot of people.
So she calls it the concept of an affair. So essentially what she's saying is the audience was triggered by the reality TV show, which is edited. Now, of course, reality TV shows are edited. Nobody fights more for the sort of sanity of the cast members than I do. But if you're having sex with the guy in the driveway, which, by the way, wasn't part of the reality show. Like, none of the cheating that happened was caught on camera. So the fact that reality TV is edited is slightly irrelevant to the moral debate here.
So I think there was a lot of projection happening, a lot of emotions that came up for people. And unfortunately, I was the punching bag for a lot of that. I do want to take a moment, though, to just acknowledge the hurt that I brought to a lot of people. I was not careful in my actions, and I was not thinking long term. I was completely wrapped up in heartbreak and wanting to get certain needs met. Looking back now, I can see that I was still healing from a relationship from somebody who I thought I was going to marry. And in ending that, I still haven't healed yet. So when I was filming, I was drinking a lot to ease that anxiety. And in a reality TV environment, I wasn't getting that safe space for me to express my emotions.
So this is where it becomes hard for people to have grace. And I always say this, grace is what you need to have for people that don't deserve grace. Anyone can have grace for for Ariana in this situation. No, it's hard to have grace for the people that don't deserve it. So she clearly mentions and is apologetic for the hurt she's caused. And then goes on, and this is where I lose people. Right? It's not, I know I've caused a lot of hurt, I'm sorry for that, but no, it's an explanation, not an excuse. So then she goes to explain the hurt she had, the heavy drinking. Clearly, drugs and alcohol have a lot to do with this, not just on Raquel's side, but on Tom Sandoval's side. It's like, look, if I could offer any marriage advice, I know they weren't married, Tom and Ariana, I'd say probably don't drink as much. You end up doing things, acting on impulses and things like that. I would say, I don't have stats here. I would assume most affairs happen with the help of aids that blur the line, like alcohol and things like that.
In a healthy way.
It's funny because I often say the game is moving too fast. And people say to me, to you, didn't you sign up for this? And we're going to get into that. But it's very difficult for anyone, including even someone close to it like an Andy Cohen, to understand what it's like to be on a reality show. It seems like a great idea to drink because everything's moving so fast and there are cameras and you might say something and you're in your head knowing you've said or done something that's bad, but nobody stops down. Mm-mm. So it's like when you see those fast flashes in Tokyo or something, everything is coming at you so quickly and it's hard to stop down. And then you also don't know what's going to be manufactured in the kitchen and served. Mm-hmm. So while what you're doing is real, it's real what's happening in the moment, but it's a manufactured scenario because you wouldn't necessarily be associating with all these people having these conversations, and it's a circular reference. So
Interesting. A manufactured scenario. Again, I stand by what I've said, that I feel like what she did was absolutely wrong. Do I feel like the force of the nation hating her is equal to the crime? Probably not. But that's how angry mobs act. And it doesn't mean you or anyone else who's watching this is not justified in feeling their feelings. It just goes to show that the wrecking ball always goes past its target, and destructs. That's just how it works. Some people are, I would say most people are really upset with Bethenny here, saying, what if I did this to your guy? What if I cheated on you? How would you feel? And then others, very few are on the side of Raquel's here. Shauna Claire said the cast absolutely went too far. Andy shouldn't have let that go on. It's ridiculous what they have done to her. All of those castmates just loved this happening. They have been waiting to pounce on Raquel since day one, especially Lala and Katie. I don't see it the way most do. Raquel will be just fine as long as she stays away from these people. Manufactured environment. That's what reality TV is. It's The Bachelor. It's a manufactured environment. 30 men competing for one woman's love. It's manufactured. How people react to that, it exploits their inner dark insecurities and all the other issues that they have. Does Raquel Leviss have a lot of issues? Yes. Did she probably make a lot of excuses in this podcast? Yes. And will it be a long time before she copes and learns and grows? Yes. Do we all need to, I don't know, go farther than just watching it with popcorn? No, I would stay out of social media. I don't think she's on social media anymore. But it's like, I always say the Yellowstone rule, drive by, take a photo of the bisons, but don't try to pet them. You'll get gored. All right, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. We'll be back with more content right after this.